Well, friends, I am the man with no identity, the man formerly known as John Henderson.
Welcome to the Theater of Thrills!
We continue with the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Henry Jekyll has proposed to Nurse Peters after breaking off his relationship with Margaret. He truly is a heartbreaker. Not only that, he's also a heart-stop-inger. He's a killer. We continue now with our story. Enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now present George Edwards in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
You what?
Is it so astonishing?
Oh, how could you? It's not fair.
Why, what do you mean, Peter?
How dare you make fun of me?
Fun? I was never more serious in my life.
What? You mean it?
You don't think I'd say such a thing unless I did, do you?
Why,
Look here, I'd better go. Yes, perhaps you had. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for everything. Nonsense. Good luck. Thanks, I need it. Goodbye. Now, Peter, my dear, let's sit down and talk for a while. Oh, now, come, don't look at me like that.
I can't help it. I just can't believe you're serious.
Oh, how am I going to convince you?
Why did you ask me like that?
Yes, it was wrong of me, I'll admit that. Well, let me do it all over again. Now, sit here beside me and give me your hand. Why, it's cold and trembling. And you're turning your face away. Now, don't tell me you're going to cry.
All right, I'll spare you that. They might be tears of joy, you know.
Might they? Do you really care for me so much, then?
I think you know the way I feel.
Then would you put up with me?
Why are you doing this? You haven't changed. I've been working with you for years now. I know just the way you feel towards me, and it isn't love.
Might it not be a great need of you, my dear?
Need of me? A plain, dull, unexciting nobody, and you with all you've got.
I'm the most poverty-stricken being in the world, if you only knew it.
You are?
Yes. You imagine that I'm a person to be envied with my fine home and big income. I tell you that I'm the most unhappy and desolate of beings.
Why didn't you tell me?
My troubles have been of my own making. It didn't seem right to burden another person with them.
But don't you know that I've longed to do things for you, anything, so long as it meant being with you?
You make me feel very ashamed of myself. And unworthy, Peter, dear. It's only the dregs of a life I'm offering you.
To someone who's been starving as long as I have.
I warn you, there may be things that you cannot even dream of. Things I can never even tell you about.
I've loved you for years without knowing a single thing about you.
But supposing I were to tell you that there are chapters in my life that I daren't let a single human creature know about. Not even the woman I married.
Are they past? Are they over and done with?
Forever and ever. So help me, God.
Then I'll ask nothing about what's no concern of mine.
What strange and wonderful and terrible creatures you women are. You'll follow the path of your desire, no matter what pit it may lead you to. Oh, thank heaven for it. We men would be sorry things if we lost you through our sins. I'll try and not make you regret this, my dear.
Isn't it more likely that you'll regret?
Oh, why should I?
Because you still love Margaret Utterson.
Oh, that's not so.
Oh, yes, it is. Don't think that I'm reproaching you. I know that things are over between you. But you haven't forgotten her. And never will. But don't look like that. I understand. I don't hope to take her place. But the fact that there's room for me in your life as well is more than I'd ever hoped for.
Oh, Helen, my dear, what can I say to you? You're the finest, the truest person I've ever known. If you will do me the great honor to marry me, you'll give me a happiness I never hoped to deserve.
I'll marry you, Henry. And whatever this black thing is that you've got in the background of your life, I'll help you fight it. And if I don't succeed, if it gets too strong for me, I'll still love you, no matter what you've done or what you may become.
William, do you take this woman, Nancy, to be your wedded wife, to love and to cherish in sickness and in health, for better or for worse, till death do you part?
I do.
And Nancy, Ruth, do you take this man, Hugh William, to be your husband?
Just going to blow his whistle.
Oh, take that of his hand, Henry. A man can't be allowed to Mr. Trevor's setting off on his honeymoon.
In you get, Nancy. I'll throw in the bags.
Thanks.
Where the diggings is that porter?
Here you are, sir. Come a bit fine. I got to walk the Trevor again. Oh, Lord, where's my wallet? Don't say I've come without any money.
Take mine, you idiot.
Oh, here it is. Well, thank goodness I'm said. That was great. Never live it down.
Nancy, I hope you put in some warm clothes. It might get cold up at the lakes.
Of course she has. Two of everything, didn't you, darling? Hooray, we're off. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, it's all over.
No, just beginning for them.
What shall we do now?
I should go and see Mrs. Wilkins and take some soup to Emmy Ryan.
And I should attend a meeting of the hospital board. But we're neither of us going to do the things we ought to do. We're going to have dinner somewhere and enjoy ourselves instead.
Are we?
Well, don't you think it's time we did something of the sort? When did you go out on a celebration?
I can't remember.
Then we'll make this one you'll remember for the rest of your life. And there's another thing we've got to do.
What's that?
Well, you've been engaged to me for almost 2 weeks now, and you're not yet wearing a ring. There's a shop in Bond Street that I have in mind, and
Oh, Henry.
Would you like to go now? It's only 4 o'clock.
Like to?
Well, come along then. We'll take this cab and see if we can find something that you'll like. Now, you're quite sure you like the sapphire one best?
Oh, quite sure. Sapphires have always been my favorite stone, and it fits so perfectly, just as if it had been made for me.
Perhaps it was. It certainly looks very nice on your hand. If you're quite satisfied, my dear.
Oh, I'm more than satisfied. I just adore it.
You couldn't have anything better, sir. That's a perfect stone.
Here's my card, then. Will you send the account to me at this address?
Certainly, Dr. Jekyll. And if ever you'd like us to send you round some necklaces or other pieces of jewelry...
I'll let you know. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon.
And now, what do you say to a little drive around the park before we go and have dinner somewhere?
I'm wondering when I'm going to wake up. This can't be me, Henry.
Well, I feel a little that way myself. I haven't felt so happy as I do this moment for, well, I can almost say years.
I feel terribly like Cinderella.
Oh, but you're only going for a ride in a handsome cab, not a fairy coach.
I wouldn't change it. Not for all the fairy coaches in the world.
Fresh flowers for sale. Fresh flowers for sale.
Oh, look. Look, Henry.
Yes, there's an old woman there selling lilac. Let me buy you some. It'll match your dress.
Oh, but what will I do with it?
Well, just carry it for a while till you get tired of it and then throw it away.
Throw flowers away? Oh, I couldn't.
All right, we'll go and call on your old Mrs. Wilkins and give them to her.
Henry, how much champagne did you drink at Hugh and Nancy's wedding?
Not enough to account for the way I feel now. Something's happened to me. I feel as though a great load has rolled off my soul.
You know, you look happier than I ever remember you doing before.
The curse is lifted from me, Helen. I'm a free man.
Fresh flowers for sale. Lilac from the country. Buy a bunch of lilacs.
Wait here for me. I'll just slip across the road and buy out her entire stock.
Mind you don't get run over. I don't think you're quite responsible just now.
Take care.
All right.
Even standard! Even standard! Fresh through in the Edison murder case. £2,000 reward offered for the capture of Edward Hyde. Even standard!
Henry! Henry! Let me get you. Is he hurt? Is he hurt?
God, Miss Bunny, what's
You stop dead in front of that team of horses. Never see
Where's my
him.
father? I shut out him. I swear with
Here, get back, everybody. Get back. Don't crowd around. I'm a trained nurse. Let me attend to him.
Here. What's the matter here?
Been an accident, Constable. The gentleman walked fair in front of the horses, he did.
Where's the driver? Yes, sir. It went my fault. I shouted after him. He was cruising around, and all of a sudden he stopped dead in his tracks right in front of the horses. I couldn't do a thing. All right. Now let's have a look at him. Now stand back there. Hey, who are you, miss?
I'm a friend. I'm a trained nurse. I don't think he's very badly hurt. Wait a minute. He's starting to come round now.
Stunned a bit, maybe. Stand back there now and give him some air.
What happened?
Here. Don't talk, dear. You've had an accident. Just lie still.
I was crossing the road and something made me stop there. I remember. It was the newsboy. Get me a paper. Get me a paper.
Henry, lie still. You must lie still.
I must see that paper. It's all right, I tell you. I'm all right. I was only stunned.
Henry, keep still, quiet. Up off the ground. There's nothing wrong with him at all.
Where's the paper, boy? Hey, boy. Give me a paper.
Henry, are you sure you're not hurt?
No, I'm not hurt. Oh, let's get away from this crowd. Let's get away, I say.
Not so fast, sir. I got to get a few particulars.
What for? Why, what do you want to know?
Your name and address, sir. Now move on, everybody. Move on. Go on. Now make it lively. Here you are, the Evening Standard. Evening Standard. Fresh clue in the Edison murder case. The Evening Standard. £2,000 reward for the capture of Edward Hyde. £2,000 reward.
Lord save us, Miss Peters. Whatever's happened to the doctor?
It's all right, Poole. Just get his bed ready and bring me a basin with plenty of hot water and some towels.
Did he meet with an accident?
A slight one. I don't think he's seriously injured, but I'll get you to send for Dr. Hunt and get him to examine him.
Oh, dear. What a pick to Dr. Lanyon's away.
It is a pity, but he's on his honeymoon, so we'll just have to make the best of Dr. Hunt. Can you put his arm around your shoulders and help me upstairs with him?
Yes, of course. Now. Steady on, sir. Just lean on me.
Take it easily, Henry.
I can manage.
Don't try too much, Henry. You've had a bad shaking, to say the least of it.
I'll be all right after I've had a night's sleep.
Here we are.
Here's your room, sir, now. Easy now. Now, through the door, sir.
Right.
That's right. Now, just wait a minute till I get you a chair. Would you care for some brandy or anything, sir?
No, just help me into bed.
I'll leave you now. Poole, call me, will you, as soon as you're ready?
Yes, Miss Peters.
Thank you.
By the way, miss, could I have a word with you outside?
Yes, of course. Just wait a minute till I close the door. What is it?
There's 2 men waiting downstairs to see the doctor. From Scotland Yard, they said they were.
You mean detective?
Yes, I guess it must be something to do with the man Hyde. Did you see the evening papers?
Yes, I did. You go back to the doctor and don't say a word to him. I'll go down and see them right away.
Poole, what are you talking about?
I'm coming, sir.
Good afternoon. Are you waiting to see Dr. Jekyll?
Yes, we are. I'm Inspector Davidson from Scotland Yard, and this is Mr. James.
Well, I'm afraid you can't possibly see him just now. He's met with a slight accident, and until the doctor sees him...
Is he seriously injured?
I don't think so, but he can't be upset in any way.
This is very urgent.
Why is it?
It's in connection with the murder of Mr. Alfred Utterson. As you know, we have every reason to believe that it was committed by a man named Edward Hyde. He was an associate of Dr. Jekyll's, and we've come into possession of fresh evidence that proves that he came to Dr. Jekyll's house the night of the murder and was admitted by a side door that leads to the doctor's secret laboratory.
That's not true.
Henry, what are you doing down here?
Oh, I don't want to worry you, Dr. Jekyll.
You're not worrying me. What do you want?
We want to know if you were aware that Edward Hyde made use of that door into your laboratory the night of the murder.
Edward Hyde did not come in that door. Whoever told you so is a liar.
Henry, try not and get so excited.
Excited? Why, what are these men trying to suggest? Do they think that I would conceal such a fiend as this man Hyde?
We know that he was in the habit of coming to your place, Doctor.
That was before I fully realized what kind of man he was. I tell you, I drove him out of my life. I know nothing of him. I don't even know his whereabouts, and hope to heaven that I never set eyes on him again as long as I live.
If we could have a look, sir,
look as much as you like. Here. Here are the keys.
Thank you.
Poke and pry into every nook and cranny in the house. You'll not find anything.
Very well, sir. Thank you very much. Come along, James. We'll have a look in that laboratory.
Henry, they've been gone some time. What does it mean? Surely they don't think that
Never mind what they think. If they want to have a look, they can. Edward Hyde has disappeared off the face of this earth. And no detective who ever lived will be able to find the slightest trace of him.
Henry, dear, are you sure you'll be all right sitting here in these gardens all by yourself?
Yes, of course I will. I've got this book to read and the sun to warm me. I'll probably go to sleep.
I won't be any longer than I can help, but I must go and see one or two of our patients.
I know you must. Tell them I'll be back on the job again tomorrow. Oh, by the way, if old Harris is in much pain, you can increase the dose of morphia just a little. I'll leave it to you to decide if he needs it.
Yes, I understand. I'll come back here for you. I shouldn't be longer than an hour.
You'll find me waiting here for you. Goodbye, my dear.
Goodbye.
Lovely day, sir. Mind if I just rake up these few leaves from round your feet, sir?
Oh, not at all. Go right ahead.
First sign of autumn, they be. Though you'd never think it to feel the warmth of that sun on your back.
Huh. Make a lot of extra work, don't they?
All one to me, sir. I've been in charge of this part of Kensington Gardens for 39 years now, and spring, summer, autumn, winter, it don't make no difference. Every season has its own charm, I always says. Hey, will you just look at them children running all over the borders? Hey, get off them edges, you young rascals, or I'll be after you. Get away there.
This is good. I don't know when I felt so lazy or so content.
You've lost your sense of fear, haven't you? You think you've got rid of Hyde. You've shaken him off. He won't come back to haunt you anymore. You're wrong. He's with you now. You're remembering, aren't you? You're thinking of the things you used to do, the pleasures and the lusts, the frightful things you did.
Oh, stop, for pity's sake.
Pity? What have I to do with pity?
Oh, leave me in peace.
What have you and I to do with peace? This woman, Helen, do you think that she'll be able to satisfy you and keep me at bay? Have you forgotten the women we knew in Limehouse? That negress in the Sailor's Tavern? That Eurasian woman on the waterfront? The one who tried to knife me and who'll carry a scar across her face till she goes to the grave? Those were the days and nights when the blood raced through your veins like lava, not the sluggish stream that lulls you off to sleep today.
I'm happier this way.
There's no such thing as happiness for you, Henry Jekyll. You forswore peace and happiness in the first moment you lifted that fatal draught to your lips and called out of the depths of your immortal soul the creature that was Edward Hyde. The creature that is stronger than yourself. The creature that even at this moment is claiming you again, is throwing off the shape and form of Henry Jekyll and emerging once again as Hyde.
No. Let me go.
You can't escape. You can't escape.
Yes, Miss Peters. A telegram came, and I thought I'd better bring it across to him.
Well, he's sitting over there behind that little clump of trees. Come and we'll find him.
But I looked there, miss. I don't think he's there.
Oh, then he can't be very far away. Perhaps he's taken a little walk down the path. I've been longer than I thought, and I expect he got tired of waiting.
Well, I've been here close on half an hour, miss, and I can't find him anywhere.
I wondered did he go home and pass you somewhere on the way?
That's quite possible. Maybe I'd better go back.
Yes, do. I'll look a little while longer, and then I'll go back to the house, too. It's getting rather cold now. I don't think he'd stay outdoors much longer.
Perhaps that gardener over there might have noticed where he went.
Yes, I'll go and ask him. Did you notice the gentleman sitting on that seat behind that clump of trees, Gardener?
A gentleman, miss? Wearing tweeds, youngish looking, with the white hair?
Yes, that's him. Do you know where he went?
Oh, I was wondering the same myself. I was talking to him and just went off to shoo away some children off the borders, and when I come back, he'd gone.
Oh. How long ago was that?
Oh, upward of 2 hours, I'd say. I seen him come here with him, and it weren't very long after you left.
That's funny. Didn't you see him go?
No, I didn't. I was away not more than 5 minutes or so, and when I come back, there weren't no sign of him.
Oh, I wondered did he go for a walk?
Oh, I didn't see him. As a matter of fact, there's been no one along this way but one queer-looking customer who comes shuffling along with his head down, and that was about an hour ago. Come to think of it, I seen him sitting on that seat where your friend were.
Did you? What was he like?
Oh, hard to say, miss. Little he were. Queer-shaped, too, and you never seen such clothes. Must have been 2 sizes too big for him. I took him for a tramp and went to ask him what he was doing here, and I tell you straight, miss, the look he gave me fair froze the blood in me veins.
Look? What sort of a look?
Hard to describe. I've never seen the like of it before. Ugly, vindictive. Like as if he'd been glad of an excuse to fly at me throat.
Well, where did he go?
Straight out through the gates. The last I seen of him, he was getting into a cab, and the driver seemed as though he wasn't going to take him at first, and then the little cove must have said something to him, for the fella touched his hat pretty smart-like and drove away.
What a funny thing. I don't know why it is, but even to hear you talk about him makes me feel queer.
Oh, if you'd have seen him, miss, I tell you, I haven't got over it yet. I'll be right glad when the time comes to close up the gates and make tracks for home. He got on my nerves, he has. I shouldn't like to meet him after dark, and that's the truth. I only got one look, and then he pulled his hat down over his eyes and turned away. He didn't seem to want me to see it. And no wonder, I say.
Well, perhaps he's quite harmless after all.
To judge by the looks of him, there's nothing that he wouldn't be capable of, even murder. Why, strike me pink.
What's the matter?
I know who he is.
What?
I recognise the description. There's £2,000 reward for him.
What are you talking about?
That chap was Edward Hyde, the murderer.